Hello everybody, it's ShadowSlayerX, and we're continuing on to the back half of the Knights of the Frozen Throne expansion cards, and we're starting with Valeera the Hollow. So the Rogue Death Knight is also a 9 mana cost card, so your hero gains stealth until your next turn. That is something I came up with in custom cards a long time ago, because it's basically Ice Block for a turn. But the hero power is a passive one, which I think is pretty neat. So, during your turn, add a Shadow Reflection to your hand. And Shadow Reflection reads, each time you play a card, transform this into a copy of it. My question is, can you have more than one Shadow Reflection in your hand? It says during your turn, add one to your hand. So I'm assuming every turn you could collect Shadow Reflections for a crazy combo. Like, you drop Malygos and you've got 4 Shadow Reflections in your hand, right? If Malygos doesn't die that turn, holy crap, you've won the game. Like, it's not even a combo, because you only needed 3 cards, but you need the setup. So you need Valeera the Hollow, which saves you for a turn, and then you would need... I would try to do Malygos, Valeera, and then Sinister Strike for the win. Because even if you only had one Shadow Reflection, even with just one Shadow Reflection, that's 16 damage to your opponent's face, and hopefully by then you've done that much damage. So, I think it's cool. I think it's really cool. We're definitely going to see a lot of crazy skill coming into the game through Valeera the Hollow. Moving on to Lillian Voss, 4 mana 4/5, good stats. Replace spells in your hand with random spells from your opponent's class. Ugh. I guess that's some synergy for, what is that guy? You're a 5 mana. Ethereal Peddler. That's some Ethereal Peddler stuff. You could even... Oh, that's 4 into 5. That's actually really clever. But it's okay. You'd have to be playing that kind of deck, the copy stuff for your opponent's class deck, which I don't really see played that often. I like it though. I like it a lot. Might find places in other decks. Spectral Pillager, 6 mana combo, deal damage equal to the number of other cards you've played this turn. It's pretty high costed. I know you're getting a 5/5, but I think it's just too high cost. That's all I gotta say about Spectral Pillager. I don't really even like the art that much. Doomerang, 1 mana. Throw your weapon at a minion, it deals its damage, then returns to your hand. I think this can be comboed pretty well. Like, I don't know. Throw your weapon at a minion, it deals its damage and returns to your hand. It just lets you play a specific weapon 4 times. Or 3 times if you only have one copy of it. Like, there's a weapon down here that we're going to get to real soon. That I think is what it's meant for, and really only. This could also work with Frostmourne, which is a Death Knight specific weapon. But I'm wondering, when you throw your weapon at a minion, does it destroy it? Would it activate a death rattle of a weapon? I think it would. But I don't know exactly the coding of the card, so we're going to go with, I think it's good. 4 mana 5/3, Runeforge Haunter. During your turn, your weapon doesn't lose durability. This card's awesome. Enough said. 3 mana 3/2, Battlecry. Your hero is immune this turn. Oh, look at that. I think these two work really well together. And what? Shadowblade Doomerang? Hello. Just saying. I like Shadowblade. I think Shadowblade's great. Immune is not... I think there's maybe 2 or 3 cards in this expansion that have Immune, which is awesome. They're bringing Immune back a little bit. 2 mana, Roll the Bones. Draw a card. If it has Death Rattle, cast this again. So I think someone did the math on Reddit, and this is what everyone's saying who's reviewing the card. You need a crap ton of Death Rattles to get some decent value off this because you want to draw 2 cards with this to get value. This draws you 1, but you want 2. 3 is ideal, right? I think beyond that you don't want to draw too many, so I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if Death Rattle's the roguey thing right now. It used to be. It's probably really good and wild. 5 mana, 5/5 Bone Baron, Death Rattle, add 2/1/1 skeletons to your hand, so this is basically a 7 mana, 7/7 over 3 bodies. It's good in Arena. Moving on. 3 mana, 2/3 Plague Scientist. Combo, give a friendly minion poisonous. Hi, new Assassinate, how are you? You can't go by Taunt, but that's fine. I like it. I think it's good. I don't know if it'll be constructed good, but it's definitely Arena badass, so... Art's pretty good too, kind of like Joker Bane mixed together. Leeching Poison, 2 mana, give your weapon lifesteal. I mean, you had to see that coming. It's not too great unless you're playing like a weapon buff deck, maybe with some Doomerangs. Doomerang, I think, will get the lifesteal off this too. So, I mean, you could always not Lillian Voss, but you could always steal good cards. Like if you get a Tyrion and you put lifesteal onto you, you're basically the Death Knight. So that could be good. No. I think it's okay. Nothing special. Moving on to Shaman. Now Shaman for me is a lot of hit and miss stuff going on. Their legendary Murabi, 6 mana 4/4. Whenever another minion is frozen, add a copy of it to your hand. Extremely powerful card, enabling things that Shaman could never do before by getting anything from any class. Or you can control hitting your own stuff with cryostasis over there. But I don't know, it's a weird archetype that doesn't have enough to support it, I don't think. And it's so poorly statted, like, could have given it maybe 1 more health, at least. Yeah. Sorry, Murabi. You could have been cool. Or you could have had another effect on, like maybe lifesteal? 6 mana 4/4 lifesteal with this ability? Yeah? I don't know. He's legendary, give him something else. Taunt? No, Taunt's bad. Can't be targeted by... Oh, they haven't keyworded that. They need to keyword that. Whatever. Thrall Deathseer. 5 mana. Transform your minions into random ones that cost 2 more. So it's evolved times 2. And his hero power becomes targeted evolve. Transmute Spirit. Hero power, transform a friendly minion into a random one that costs 1 more. That's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know how competitive it's going to be, but it's going to be super fun. So I really hope that I get this card to play around with. If I don't, that's fine, but man, it's going to be fun. I'm telling you that. Moving on to Snow Fury Giant. Now, we now have an official 11 cost card, so when you evolve a 10 cost, it will go into the 11, and the 11 will go into the 12, which I believe is Sea Giant. It's one of the giants, so it's another 8/8. Snow Fury Giant costs 1 less for each mana crystal. You've overloaded this game. It's an auto-include in if you're going to spend, I would say 7+, or cards that have 7+ overload. 6 maybe. Oh yeah, okay, 6+ maybe. Because a 5 mana 8/8 is pretty good, but I'd probably go for more than that. Yeah, I mean, that's it. You could just include it if you're going to be overloading anyway. Yep, that's it. That's all I got. Cryostasis, give a minion +3/+3 and freeze it. So that's the buff Murabi wants. But if you buff Murabi, he doesn't get a copy of himself, because it's another minion. So, you probably want to put this on like the Lich King? Yeah? Or maybe if you have a poison, you put it on one of their guys. I don't know. I don't know. You won't pick this over like Snow Fury Giant, would you? Unless you have you have to have an overload card. You need at least one in your deck to play Snow Fury Giant, so I don't know. That's all I got to say about Cryostasis, so we're going to move on. Voodoo Hexer, 5 mana 2/7 taunt, freeze any character damaged by this minion. This is the card Murabi needs, but people who, because no one's going to be running Murabi really, people will be playing the Voodoo Hexer. Voodoo Hexer is really good. Now my problem is, once again, Priest has a little card that can steal this for a turn. And it's send it into your Snow Fury Giant to freeze your Snow Fury Giant or something of that like. So, and also, a card that no one's been mentioning, because I guess everyone just remembers it, but when people mention it, people get like butthurt about it. Cabal Shadow Priest, take control of an enemy minion that has 2 or less attack. I'm going to be including this in all my decks. That plus the Potion of Madness. I'm going to be putting those cards into all my Priest decks. Like, for sure. There's so many, like right here, once we, no, Drakari Defender, Taunt, Overload 3, 2/8. If I steal that, you're going to be pissed. I mean, you'll always be pissed when someone steals a card from you, but just saying. Anyway, Voodoo Hexer, great card. Great card. Avalanche, 4 mana, freeze a minion and deal 3 damage to adjacent ones. Now this is the Murabi card they needed. This is the Cone of Cold, this is the Betrayal, this is a cool card. I like it. It will see play outside Murabi, for sure. And yeah, Avalanche is good. Icebreaker, destroy any frozen minion damaged by this. We saw this in the reveal stream. It did do some decent work. When play, like, because you can play Avalanche, kill 2 things, free something, Icebreaker, hit it because you played Icebreaker the turn before, or something hits Voodoo Hexer to kill it, and then you suck it up and take a hit to kill it, and you're only dealing 1 damage. So yeah, and then Drakari Defender, as I said, is a Taunt, Overload 3, 2/8. Great stats. I think the Overload's a little overcosted, but I guess they're trying to get you that Snow Fury Giant quicker. Because if you coin this out on turn 3, you can't do anything on turn 3. You do this on turn 3, next turn you have 1 mana. Maybe it takes some punishment and you evolve it. I don't know. Moving on to the last 2 cards of Shaman, the Burlock. Love that. 2 mana, 2/2, freeze an enemy. This is the card that they need as well. The fact that it's a Murloc goes towards their quest, and it's a solid 2/2 for 2. I think if it's a 2/3, the synergistic cards might make it a little too strong. Ice Fishing, simple, draw 2 Murlocs from your deck. Great for the quest. Combo, whatever. Thin your deck a little bit, always good. Moving on to Warlock. Now Warlock is a lot of hit and misses, I think. Blood Reaver Gul'dan, the 10 mana Death Knight. I think it's the only 10 mana. Battlecry, summon all friendly demons that died this game. That's pretty cool. But the hero power is very strong. Deal 3 damage and heal your hero for 3 damage. That is, alone, that's good. Just saying. And there are 2 new demons in this set that 100%, it's this guy right here. But summoning 2 of these plus 2, what are they called? 5 mana, 5/7 charges. Doom Guards are worth it. There might be some other cards that are worth it too for demons, but if you just summon those 4, I'll explain when I get to this guy, but you have to hit at least 2 things, I think. And there are ways to get discarded cards back, sort of. So I don't know what you want to do with that. But he's really strong. I don't know if 10 mana is worth the cost. Like I said, 10 mana, you have to get something out of this. That hero power is worth it, but yeah, for that cost you need extra. Maybe some demonic taunts, for sure. Alright, Blood Queen Lanathel, 5 mana, 1/6, lifesteal, has +1 attack for each card you discarded this game. Now, there's more discard mechanics coming in this set. I'm not a fan of discard, never have been a fan of discard. The only time I even thought about discard is when we had Silverware Golem and Fist of Jaraxxus. That was the only time I even gave 2 shits about it. Sorry for my language. Moving on. Treachery. 3 mana. Choose a friendly minion and give it to your opponent. There are some good cards to give this to. Bomb Squad and a bunch of new neutrals that are coming in this set. For sure. Doomsayer is another really good one. Automatic board clear. Like, they cannot stop that. They cannot stop that combo unless they have 7 minions on their board. So, yep. Treachery. Treachery's... I'm going to call Treachery good because you're only going to put Treachery in a deck where you can use Treachery. Done. You should say that about any card, but like, it's good because of that. So, Nom Fratu. 2 mana, 2/3, Battlecry. Remove the top card of your opponent's deck. I wish it was a demon. I know it's a vampire, and I don't know what vampire doesn't class as demon, I suppose. I guess it's undead. So that, yeah, it's undead. It's not a demon. So, boo. That's a really powerful effect. In the long game, it doesn't do a lot, but if you remove a combo piece or a powerful legendary that they need, well, you just messed them up. Despicable Dreadlord. 5 mana, 4/5. Now, why is this good to be summoned by Blood Reaver Gul'dan? At the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. So, if you had 2 of these, and you summon this at the end of the turn, it's also doing Consecrate. So, by 10 mana, you get a new hero power, you summon some bodies, and if you summon these bodies, they deal 2 damage to your opponent. Pretty darn good. I just think this is a good card. I just think it's a good card. For once, they printed a Warlock card that wasn't bad. Unwilling Sacrifice, 3 mana, choose a friendly minion, destroy it and a random enemy minion. So obviously this is like, you play an egg or something, you sacrifice it, or a Death Rattle, and you sacrifice it to kill someone strong on their side. Ideally, you use your card you're about to sacrifice to trade up, so you kill, like your 3/3 kills a 2/3, you Unwilling Sacrifice to kill a 4/12. Ysera, like, stuff like that. It's good. I don't like all these destroy your own stuff and sacrifice or discard stuff, but it does work when it works. Like, it's really cool. So, yeah, it's okay. Defile, though. Defile's more than okay. 2 mana, deal 1 damage to all minions. If any die, you cast this spell again. I think that's super cool. This rewards smart thinking and planning. Like, if you notice that there's like a 1, a 2, a 4, a 5, a 6, you just need to play that 3, right? And then you defile for a board clear. And with certain Death Rattle synergies, I think you can make this even better for yourself, but who knows. Like, for instance, if you play this with Possessed Villager, you know for sure you're going to get the first 2 ticks of Defile off, because it's going to deal 1 damage. Death Rattle will summon the other villager, like the possessed side, and then so, like, that is a 3. This will do. That's a 3 damage to everything combo, right there. And I think that's pretty powerful. Howlfiend, 3 mana, 3/6. Whenever this minion takes damage, discard a random card. Well, there you go, Blood Queen Lanethil. You've got your little Howlfiend. This is something I would not want to summon back with Gul'dan. Sorry. I don't think those two go in the same deck together. Yeah, I don't like it. It's good for discards, I will say that. Moving on. 2 mana, Drain Soul. Lifesteal, deal 2 damage to a minion. So this is like the Dark Bomb of this set. Dark Bomb was from Goblins vs. Gnomes. 2 mana, deal 3 damage. This can't target face, but it heals you. And it's stronger than Drain Life, which Drain Life can hit face, whatever. This is better than Drain Life because it's the damage will scale with spell power. So if you've got Malygos, it'll say deal 7 damage to a minion, and you'll heal for 7, compared to Drain Life, which would deal 7 damage and only heal you for 2. Sanguine Reveler, 1 mana, 1/1, Battlecry, destroy a friendly minion and gain +2/+2. So for that, you're gonna want we want 1 mana. We need some 1 mana Death Rattles, right? Leper Gnome, Runic Egg probably is what you want to hit with that. So, alright, I'm back. Thanks for the host, Zom. Man auto host, thank you. Alright, so, back to the card review. We are at Warrior now. So, the Warrior Legendary is Rotface, 8 mana, 4/6. Whenever this minion survives damage, summon a random legendary minion. So if Rotface is hit by something that does 6+ damage, its effect will not proc. So this has to be used by, or this has to be hit by like whirlwindy effects and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really powerful when it gets like you whirlwind and it gets an 8/8 out. Like if it gets a Lich King 8/8 taunt out, that's insane. You kind of want to have that taunt out before Rotface, I would think, but if you can't control that, you want to get it. You want to hit something really strong, right? So, yeah, Rotface is really good. 8 mana, Scourge Lord Garrosh. This is the Death Knight. Equip a 4/3 Shadowmourne that also damages adjacent minions. So that is pretty strong. Like we've seen that effect only like on 1 or 2 cards. The dealing damage to things on the sides. And the hero power becomes Blade Storm. Deal 1 damage to all minions. So, yep, that's pretty badass. 2 mana, Bring It On. Gain 10 armor. Reduce the cost of minions in your opponent's hand by 2. So this is going to be really good later game when your opponent only has a couple cards in their hand. Chances are they are going to be high-cost minions anyway. You will probably be helping them out, but there are ways to get around this. Like, you obviously wouldn't play this when they have 10 cards in their hand. And you'd be playing this in a Fat Warrior deck, for sure. Yeah. Like, Fat Warrior disappeared after Justicar or Trueheart rotated out. Fat Warrior used to be insane. You could get your armor up to, like, I think the highest I ever did was 90-something armor. It was insane. Yeah. Bring It On just reminds me of that. Okay, moving on to Dead Man's Hand. Another meme card, I want to say. I think it has potential. Other people have been calling it meme cards, but I think Dead Man's Hand could be really good. Now there is the infinite deck of having 2 Dead Man's Hands in your hand, because Dead Man's Hand would copy Dead Man's Hand and put it into your deck. As long as you don't play the other Dead Man's Hand, you could continually fill your deck with your hand. Depending on how good your hand is, you might want to actually do that, but I don't know the exact kind of combo. Like, what would you want 10 copies of in your deck? That's insane. So I'll be fiddling around with it, because I think it's cool, but I don't think it has any actual play in Standard currently. Moving on to Death Revenant, 5 mana, 3/3 Battlecry, gain +1/+1 for each damaged minion. There are better minions that get stats for this kind of stuff, and this is a Battlecry. So your Scourge Lord hero power, deal 1 damage to everything, would enable Death Revenant. But I don't think it does enough. Like, maybe if it had Taunt or Lifesteal or something, and Lifesteal would be crazy. Probably Taunt. I don't know. I feel like it needs something else, so it's just meh. Mountain Fire Armor, 3 mana, 4/3 Death Rattle. If it's your opponent's turn, gain 6 armor. So that reminds me of Fat Warrior again. You have 2 of those and 2 of these. You've just got yourself 32 armor off 4 cards. That's kind of nuts. So I think it's good. I don't think it's insane, but it's good. 3 mana Valkyr Soul Claimer. 3 mana 1/4. Whenever this minion survives damage, summon a 2/2 ghoul. Once again, that goes with the hero power of the Death Knight. Deal 1 damage to all your minions. You probably play that with Death Revenant as well. So this is one of the things you'd want to hit and get the Battlecry off for Death Revenant. It's okay. You could have. I think you could have put. I guess you couldn't. If you put this at 2 mana and summon a 1/2, I think that would have been fine. But whatever. Now to one of the best cards in this set, the Blood Razor. 4 mana, 2/2 Battlecry and Death Rattle, dealing 1 damage to all minions. That's insane. That enables everything. So this card is essentially deal 2 damage to everything, and then deal 2 damage to other things. That's pretty strong in my opinion. Forge of Souls, 2 mana, draw 2 weapons from your deck. Pretty decent. I think you need, what, 3-4 weapons in your deck for this to be like worth it. And there are a few synergetic neutral cards that you're about to see that go really well with this. Pirate Warrior for one, and I think there's like a Furnace Fire Colossus, I think it's called, or something. You'll see. 1 mana, 1/3. After you play minion, deal 1 damage to it. That's perfect for the archetype. I'm glad it's 1 mana. I'm glad it's 1/3. They needed that. Awesome. Moving on to the neutrals. Here is the bad boy himself, the Lich King. At the end of your turn, add a random Death Knight card to your hand. What is a Death Knight card, you might ask? There are 8 Death Knight cards that you can potentially get. Frostmourne, which I talked about earlier when we were talking about the Rogue, and the Doomerang. Because if Doomerang triggers the Death Rattle on Frostmourne, that's insane. Frostmourne reads 7 mana, 5/3. Death Rattle, summon every minion killed by this weapon. That's nuts. That's nuts. I'm sorry, but it's nuts. It's nuts. So if you Doomerang this, and you get the Death Rattle off, that means you should be summoning 2 minions, getting another 5/3 back. That's awesome. This works well with a lot of different classes. You want to get Death Rattle effects. So if you're a priest and you have Frostmourne and you silence something and you kill it, you will get that really good Death Rattle when Frostmourne's Death Rattle goes off. So that's pretty cool. Army of the Dead, 6 mana. Remove the top 5 cards of your deck, which is bad, but you summon any minions removed. That's insane. Can you imagine playing a Giants deck and you Army of the Dead and you summon 5 8/8s? Yeah. They have to Twisting Nether that board. 5 mana Doom Pact. Destroy all minions. Remove the top card from your deck for each minion destroyed. I feel like this is... I get it. You're using a lot of power to kill a lot of shit. So there has to be a downside to you. So, yeah. There are good and bad Death Knight cards. Death Grip being an amazing one. Steal a minion from your opponent's deck and add it to your hand. You are stealing it. You are not adding a copy of it. You are taking it from their deck and giving it to you. So, like Gnome Feratu, where it removes a card from your opponent's deck. It's kind of like that, except for you get it, and it's amazing. It'll only steal minions if you Death Grip and you get nothing. That means they just have spells. Death Coil, another really good card. Deal 5 damage to an enemy or restore 5 health to a friendly character. Yep, that's such good value. And it has the viability to work with you. And this works well with that 6 mana 3/9 Paladin card. You heal a friendly character by 5, that dude will deal 5 damage to someone else. So you kind of get both effects from Death Coil. Obliterate! 2 mana, destroy a minion, your hero takes equal to its health. I like that one. I think it's fair. Like I said earlier, there is a lot of low attack, high health. Oh shit. I read that wrong. Well, it's still a good card. And if you're a Death Knight, you've gotten some armor from that. So, Anti-Magic Shell, very good card. Give all of your minions +2/+2, and can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. That's nuts. That means they can only get hit by battle cries and area of effect spells. But that's why the buff comes from, right? 3 mana, Death and Decay, deal 3 damage to all enemies. Just insane, and I love it. Love it. And that's the Lich King. He's an 8 mana, 8/8 taunt. And they didn't cartoonify him. He is really cool looking. And his intro is even cooler. I wish I could show you. I mean, like, I don't have enough dust to craft all the legendaries I want. But you know we're going to get Lich King, right? Who isn't? Come on. Alright. Prince Valinar, the best of the princes. There are 3 princes. Battlecry, if your deck has no 4-cost cards, gain lifesteal and taunt. So 4/4/4/4. You would only play him when you could get that. Why else would you? Lifesteal and taunt is good. And at 4, that's pretty decent. Moving on to Arfis, which is the best pun I have seen. If anyone knows, when the Lich King was huge, he was Arthas. Prince Arthas, which is one of the classes you'll be getting for Paladin. Alternate class hero. But Arthas is such a great pun. 4 mana 2/2, add a random Death Knight card to your hand. It's the only other way to get Death Knight cards is between these two. So, hi buddy. His animation is just as good. I'm just saying. Just saying. Prince Tal'Darim, 3 mana 3/3. If your deck has no 3-cost cards, transform into a 3/3 copy of a minion. So this is just like that priest spell I mentioned earlier when it makes a 5/5 copy. The problem is the downside is having no 3-cost cards, and 3-cost cards are good. So we won't be seeing him at all. There has to be a deck with these princes. Makes sense, right? I don't know. Maybe the Hunter quest could use all the princes. Because their quest is about 1-cost cards, right? I don't know. I don't know. Not you. You just don't fit in that deck. Alright, Prince Kaliseth. 2 mana 2/2. If your deck has no 2-cost cards, give all minions in your deck +1/+1. That's really cool if you draw him early. That's it. Yep. Yep. Okay. Nerubian Unraveler. 6 mana 5/5 spells cost 2 more. Interesting tech card. I think it's going to be really strong. You have to hide it behind a taunt. You gotta hide it behind the Lich King. Just saying. Furnace Fire Colossus. I mentioned this earlier in the Warrior. 6 mana 6/6. Discard all weapons from your hand to gain their stats. So, how strong is that? Warrior, please. Okay, Molten Blade can get you any weapon. So, imagine you have a molten, what is it? Molten Blade in your hand that has transformed to a Gladiator's Longbow, and you have another Molten Blade that has turned into like a Vine Cleaver, right? So, a 5/2 and a 4/3 is 9/5. 9/5 plus 6/6 is 15/11. So you're using up 2 cards to make a 15/11. I mean, you can and watch it die to a 1/2 poisonous, but you can make some really strong shit with this. And you have that new card, the Forge of Souls or whatever, Rune Forge, that draws 2 weapons into your hand, and then you play this, right? Just saying. This card could be crazy. I don't think it'll see play, though. Skulking Geist, 6 mana 4/6. Battlecry, destroy all 1-cost spells in both hands and decks. This is designed to destroy Jade Druid, because that gets rid of Jade Idols. They could have 20 Jade Idols in their deck, and Skulking Geist will remove all of them. This affects a few other decks. Like, this is bad for Priest. Hunter, maybe. Yeah, but definitely Druid. It's aimed at Druid. Expect to see this, so... Like I said, using that Potion of Madness, this would get rid of Potion of Madness, so... Moving on to Tomb Lurker. Interesting art. 5 mana 5/3. Battlecry, add a random death rattle minion that died this game to your hand. That's pretty neat. Once again, it enables decks that were unable to have the same card death rattled multiple times. Like, I think there's enough tools in Hearthstone right now that you could literally have 2 death rattle minions in your deck and enough stuff to get that minion over and over and over again, to the point that when you N'Zoth, you're summoning like 6 of that minion, and that might be insane. I think it's okay. It's only going to be used in a death rattle deck, so should be fine. It's a little overstated, maybe like 4 mana 4/3 for this. I think would have been better, but whatever. I'm not Blizzard. 4 mana Death Axe Punisher, 3/3 stat line. Battlecry, give a random lifesteal minion in your hand +2/+2. There are cards that do this that don't target lifesteal. Yes, but it's in Warrior. And I think the Warrior one had 1 extra attack, if I am correct. Yep. Yep. Moving on. 4 mana Meat Wagon. Death Rattle. Summon a minion from your deck with less attack than this minion. So, it's a mech. We haven't seen mechs in a while. Mechs aren't that important, really. If anything, this just makes the mechs weaker when you get a random mech from GVG or whatever. You need to buff it for it to be good, and then even when you do, it's gonna be random. You're summoning a random minion from your deck. It says summon a minion. It means random. I just didn't want to throw it in there. Too much wording, probably. I think it's bad. I don't like Meat Wagon. 4 mana Rattling Rascal. Now this is a card that you want to play Treachery with. Battlecry, summon a 5/5 skeleton. Death Rattle, summon 1 for your opponent. So on 4 mana, you play the Rattling Rascal, right? If you have 7 mana, you're going to Treachery this Rascal over to your opponent, and then kill it instantly if you can. That way, so you're playing 7 mana to get 10/10 stats. So, yeah. Moving on to Corpse Taker. 4 mana 3/3. Battlecry, gain Taunt if your deck has Taunt, and repeat that for Divine Shield, Lifesteal, and Wind Fury. Obviously, this is insane if you get all of them. If you get 3 out of the 4, it's still pretty good, and then 2 and less mean it's nothing. This will probably be great in Arena. Who knows? Stop distracting me, chat. I love you guys. 3 mana 1/5. Drakari Enchanter. Your end of turn effects trigger twice. This is insane! I will definitely test this out. This is going to be even better in Wild. But I don't play Wild. Maybe I will play Wild. Who knows? 6 mana 6/5 Bone Drake. Death Rattle, add a random dragon to your hand. This card is very good. I like it a lot. A lot of the dragons are high cost, so you'll be able to play them after you play Bone Drake. And they have crazy effects, and usually are legendary. And this is random, so that includes class dragons, including Syndragosa. So, yeah. I think it's great. Good card. Good card. Great in Arena. 5 mana, Corpse Razor. Battlecry, give a friendly minion, Death Rattle, resummon this minion. We've seen that. That is a shaman spell, if I recall. There it is. Ancestral Spirit. So they put Ancestral Spirit onto a 3/3, whatever. I mean, now everyone can use Ancestral Spirit, I guess. I really like Ancestral Spirit. So, blah. Keening Banshee. Whenever you play a card, remove the top 3 cards from your deck. Yeah, I mean, you probably could have said this better, like 4 mana 6/5. I don't think it'll see much play. A lot of people don't like removing their own cards because it doesn't count towards discard or anything like that. So, yeah, and there's no card that's like, for each card you've removed from your deck, gain whatever. There's no card like that, so. Bye! 4 mana, 3/3, Phantom Freebooter. Battlecry, gain stats equal to your weapons. This is like the Furnace Soldier 4 dude, whatever. Except for it doesn't destroy your weapons. I could hear that like. I was like, what the hell is that? Anyway, this doesn't destroy your weapon. It gains stats equal to your weapon. So if you have. Say you have the Scourge Lord, the 4/3 weapon, and you play Phantom Freebooter, this becomes a 7/6 for 4 mana. That's pretty good. If you're a shaman and you have Doomhammer, this is a 4 mana 5/11. That's insane. So it has potential. It's a pirate. That's great. Yeah, good card. Moving on, 4 mana, Serenite Chain Gang, Taunt, Battlecry, summon a copy of this minion. It's pretty good. A 3/5 Taunt beats both of these, so you gotta think about that. This is very good for Evolve Shaman and the Death Seeker Shaman, because they're both 4 costs, even though they're low statted. So when you, say you play Serenite Chain Gang, they don't kill the Serenite Chain Gang, and you use your Shaman Death Knight, these become 6 drops. That's crazy. Even if one of them dies, you get a 6 drop out of it. And you probably prevented some damage. Next is Ticking Abomination. 4 mana, 5/6, Death Rattle, deal 5 damage to your minions. So you play this when you have none. It's pretty simple. And then this is probably good in Shaman. You hit something pretty big, it lives, and then you evolve it. It's the only other use I can really see for it. Or you silence it, but that's a waste. I'd rather just use a hero power, which isn't so much of a waste. Turning this into a 5-drop with no downside. Well, it could potentially have a downside, but whatever. Happy Ghoul. Look, it's so happy. 3 mana, 3/3, costs 0 if your hero was healed this turn. This is only good if you get to play this on turn 1 or 2. Otherwise, it's just like, it's in your deck to play it when it's free. Meaning that might not be the best time to play it. I mean, you can play it for 3 mana if you got nothing else, but whatever. Mindbreaker, an actually good card, and the art's pretty cool. 3 mana, 2/5, hero powers are disabled. Nuff said, that's powerful. You play this when you're ahead. It is a win more card, especially if your opponent's a Death Knight. And you can hide this behind the Lich King. Yep, I like it. I like it a lot. 3 mana Shallow Gravedigger. Death Rattle, add a random Death Rattle minion to your hand. I think that's really cool. Random could be any Death Rattle minion, so from any class, that is fun. Next, Bone Mare. Battlecry, give a friendly minion +4/+4, and taunt. With a 5/5 body to boot. That is 9/9 and taunt. Bone Mare is going to be seen a lot, I think, especially in Arena because it's a common. And plus the Undead Horses were always my favorite. Necrotic Geist, 6 mana, 5/3. Whenever one of your other minions dies, summon a 2/2 ghoul. That's alright, I suppose. Yeah. Tokeny? Yeah, you'd play this like Token Druid, right? And you'd send all 5 of your guys in to replace them with 2/2 ghouls. If you use it. That's what you'd use it for. 6 mana, 4/4, spell damage +2. Like other people have said, it is expensive. Effect is good, but it's expensive. Body could have been slightly better, maybe. 4 mana, 4/5, or 3/6. But this card, I'm going to be playing with this card, and it's a common. If I don't get 2 of these, I'm crafting 2 of these. It's fine. 5 mana, 2/2, Death Rattle. If it's your opponent's turn, summon an 8/8 skeleton. Woo woo. That's just fun. You put taunt on this mother flipper. or you play this guy to make this guy stronger and more annoying, and he has to kill it. And this also prevents AoE. If they use AoE, you get an 8/8. They better be killing you after they do that AoE. Anyway, let's talk about the good dragon here. 5 mana, 5/5, Cobalt Scale Mane. At the end of your turn, give it another random friendly minion +3 attack. Now this does combo with that guy who doubles your end of turn effects. He is a great dragon. He works really well in the, like, you could play this guy not in a dragon deck, but in decks that play taunt minions with low attack, high health. This guy's insane. So strong. Imagine putting this on one of the Tar Creepers. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. 5 mana, 2/5, Venomancer, poisonous. It gets its value if it kills 2 things. Enough said. Like a small thing and a big thing, or 2 mediums. Moving on to Bloodworm, a beast, 5 mana, 4/4, lifesteal. You can get this from Build-A-Beast. For this, yeah, I don't know. Is there any other beasts? I haven't been paying attention. I don't think so. Nope. You're the only beast. You suck. 5 mana, 5/4, Sunborn Valkyr. Love the art. Battlecry, give adjacent minions +2 health. So this is kind of like the next mana up from Defender of Argus, but he doesn't give taunt or +1 attack. It's okay. It'll see more arena play than anything else. Who knows? Someone might find a deck for it. Because it's a mid-range card that you want to play on at the beginning and end, which is weird, right? So, 4 mana, 3/4 Night Howler. Whenever this minion takes damage, gain +2 attack. That is kind of crappy. It goes for warrior. It's a warrior card. 4 mana, 2/4 Grim Necromancer. Summon 2 1/1 skeletons. This card is good because it's actually a 4/6 split across 3 bodies, and you don't have to play them. Like there was that Bone Baron, 5 mana, 5/5. Give 2 skeletons in your hand. This just puts them on the field, and I think it's great. The elemental of the set for neutrals: 4 mana Grave Shambler, 4 attack, 4 health. Whenever your weapon is destroyed, gain +1/+1. It's a rogue card. It's a warrior card. Paladin card. It's a weapon deck card. It's okay. The elemental tag doesn't do favors really, except for being searched out by what's his name? What is his name? Servant of Kalamos. That's about it. 4 mana, 1/1 Wicked Skeleton. Skeleton. Battlecry, gain +1/+1 for each minion that died this turn. That is interesting, but I feel like it costs too much. You have to get 4 things need to die that turn for this to be good. Which you can orchestrate, but is it worth going through that trouble when you could just play like okay, let's pretend we're warriors. Where are you? I can't for the life of me. Okay. Like even Corcoran Elite's better. I don't know. Mortal Strike? I don't know, man. You're not that good, Wicked Skeleton. Alright, 3 mana, 3/1 Vrygul. Death Rattle, if it's your opponent's turn, summon a 2/2 ghoul. Like I said, they've printed enough of these effects to make a deck out of it. Will it be good? I don't know. But, 3 mana, 2/4 Death Speaker, give a friendly minion immune this turn. Hello! Hello, my darling. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. You're going to be really good. You're going to be seeing a lot of play. For sure. You put immune onto the Lich King, and the Lich King kills Syndragosa. Yep. I mean, this is just good. It's just good. It's not game winning, but it's game improving. So, yeah. Moving on to Hilfnir Frostrider. 3 mana, 4/4, freeze your other minions. So this is a Murabi card, but this is also, I don't have a turn 1, turn 2 play, so I play this and have no downside. Good in arena, Murabi. 2 mana, 2/3 Tuskar Fisherman. Battlecry, give a friendly minion spell damage +1. This will be good in decks that deal damage. Mage. And Mage. Moving on to Fallen Sun Cleric. 2 mana, 2/1. Battlecry, give a friendly minion +1/+1. I really like this card. I do wish it had 1 more health, but I understand why it didn't, because they're just downgrading the stats of Shattered Sun Cleric. That's about it. It's gonna be good in arena. Well, I don't know. Right. Tainted Zealot. Kind of when I first saw this, I thought it was a pirate. So there's no pirate tag. 2 mana, 1/1 Divine Shield, spell damage +1. That's really good. It means your spell damage is at least going to survive 1 hit. So it effectively has at least 2 health. Unless it's silenced. Next, Atcherus Veteran. That picture though. 1 mana, 2/1, give a friendly minion +1 attack permanently. Pretty good, I guess. but you don't want to play it on turn 1. I don't know. Ew. 1 mana Wretched Tiller. Whenever this minion attacks, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. Could be good if you keep it up. Dead Scale Knight. 1 mana, 1/1 Lifesteal Murloc. It's crap on its own. You gotta buff it. And then, the best card of the set. The cutest card of the set. The Snow Flipper Penguin. Which is the Build-A-Beast +1/+1 card. That's right. So here's, oh, I could have just come down here to see all this stuff. We already talked about all of this. We talked about these. Card back. And this is the new board. I don't know what it does yet. I haven't read what it does. And I haven't watched any videos on what it does, so. Cinematic trailer of the first trailer. And that's it! LOL! We're done! So I'm going to be splitting this up into 2 videos. This is part 2 if you're watching it. And I have some editing to do. Alright, I've been ShadowSlayerX. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and donate if you're feeling generous. And as always, I will see you next time. Peace.